Here's an idea on how to store your scraps so that you use your scraps. Come on in.
Hello everybody, we're back talking about how to use paper scraps today, and I wanted to show you how I store my Christmas paper and specifically my Christmas paper scraps, because I have found over the last year that storing scraps leads to using scraps. So come on in, let me show you how I do it. First of all, I use Hvyweight sheet protectors from Avery, and I just get them from Amazon or an office supply place, whichever is cheaper and wherever is closest when I need them. I make a little label, it says scraps on it, and every time I cut into a new pack of paper, one of these goes with that pack of paper. So now let me show you how I store my Christmas paper and my scraps. Come on. Now, specifically for Christmas paper storage, I use these large iris cases, and they are about 14 inches square, kind of more or less. And these are the thin ones. I like them better than the thick ones for storing Christmas paper, because I like to put, I like to put the source that I got the paper right here on the little clippy tab, and then I list all the papers that are in this pack on the front, so that if I'm looking for something specific, I can find them. Now inside the case, I will have little weird things like these are embellies, and I have some little tags that kind of go with some of this paper, and I have them in another clear sheet protector on the top. Then I have paper in the order the way I have it listed here on the front. So the argyle's first, and then you'll see here's scraps. So in order to get to my Christmas cabin paper, I've got to go through the scraps first, and that's my way of helping me not just reach in and grab a whole pack of fresh paper and start cutting on it. So this is Christmas cabin. We'll be working on some of that today. And this is Christmas cheer, and this is all the scraps and cut paper. Now, to my mind, I don't consider this to be scrap because it's perfectly usable for a complete card base, but because it's been cut, I want to use that first before I go and cut a whole sheet of paper, and I'll slip it down in here and keep it with my scrap paper. So in case I need to use a scrap and I have to cut a piece of paper, or in this case I want to cut one of these sentiments to use with a card I'm making, it's all right here together with the original packs of paper that I have purchased. Let's start out today by looking at some cards that I've made out of some scraps this past week. And here's one. Now this one was on Sunday's video, and here's the rest of them. We'll just go through all of them right quick. There's one. Now this was some Stampin' Up! Paper. This is one, and I used the scraps to make the Christmas tree, and then I just layered up little scraps that I had left. This and this was the same paper, and here's another one. The same paper pack. I used up every little bit of this bunch of scraps that was left and made some cute cards with it. This is the final card, and you can see that I made a strip card out of it because I wanted to use up every little bit I possibly could. And then here's another one. You may remember these that I showed you when I was doing the demonstration on scan and cut. Well, there they are. And this one is just a scene card. I found this little Santa Claus and reindeer strip in with the scraps, and I thought, well, I'll just use that. So I colorized it. I had already cut it last year with my scan and cut, so it was ready to go, and all I did was make the houses this year. And then this was the final one. And this little bird was part of this Happy Holidays sentiment. I cut him off so he could be talking right up close with Rudolph there. So there we are. that's the cards that I've made for today, or for this week, I guess, out of scraps. So now let's get started with these two piles of scrap and see what we've got. The first thing I want to do is to pull all the scraps out of my pack here and see if anything just absolutely jumps out at me. And I do a sort just kind of by size and paper. And then I have these little weird pieces here that would make nice little strips to go on top. And look at that one. Isn't that cute? Let's see what's on the back of this one. Oh, it's more of that paper there. All right. Well, let's go look and see if we can find a card sketch that will use some of these scraps. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I have some card layouts started here. And they're all kind of a spin-off of OWH sketch number 109, which is this one. And it uses a 3.5 by 3 1/4 inch scrap and a strip of paper and then some kind of an embellishment. Now, when I was going into my scraps, I found these nice tags that I had put with them. And if you watched Sunday's YouTube episode, you saw me make these little embellishments, so we're going to use some of those. I had a Christmas tree in my stash, which I thought would look nice with this one, and the Rejoice is part of a paper studio pack that I've had. I think these are ready to go. Now, I did cut this piece, and it was 6 by 12, so I cut it into I cut it into 3 4-inch pieces, but I cut this 3/4 inch strip off first, and then I cut the 4-inch pieces off. So I'm going to use one of those 3/4 inch by 4 1/4 here, and then so I made one scrap, but I've used 1 2 3 4 5 and another little piece, so 6 scraps. So in order to use those, I had to cut a piece. That suits me just fine. So let's get these guys started and get them put together right quick. I'm going to go ahead and put these scraps away so they'll be there waiting on me next time. I think I have a little interior strip for all the cards, so I think I'm good to go on putting these all away. And they'll go back in my little heavy-duty sheet protector. I'm going to get some card blanks out, and I think I'll make these top folding. Most of those that I made the other day were side folding cards. I believe I'll make one of them lateral instead of portrait style. So, okay, now let's get started. What I want to do on this card is to check my layer size, because it doesn't really look like that border's even, but it may well be. So that's 3 1/4 by 4 and probably 5/8. Let's see. 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 would be just a little bit better. So let me trim just a smidge off of this one right here. 4 1/2. Yeah, there we go. And you know where this one's going. It's going in the trash can. Okay, let's get these glued down and get these cards made. I love Christmas paper, and I love making Christmas cards. I try very, very hard not to duplicate a lot and on my cards, just really more to prevent boredom than anything else, to be perfectly candid with you. So, I hear Cordelia scratching on something over there. You may be able to hear her. She's fooling around on her cat tree. We'll just put a little even border around the outside of this one. Now this is going to go down, and then I'm going to well, maybe we'll put the snowflakes on top, and then I'm going to anchor everything with the plaid and put my sentiment on the plaid and my Christmas tree. Maybe do it like this. And that way the little snowflakes will all show up fine. Okay, I think that's what we're doing. If you want to see close-ups of these cards, they'll be over on the Facebook page. I usually try to post a video first and then go ahead and post the details up on the cards. So I'm just going to line this up in the middle and kind of split the difference top to bottom and not worry too much about it. And there we go. This is going to be a fairly flat card, so I think I will put just a little bit of foam up underneath the tree. And let's see. Try to kind of get this straight here. Put my foam on the tree. Get my tweezers. And I'll probably look for some little embellishments to go on that, but here's the basic scrap card done right here, right now. Let's move on. Let's do this one. That little herringbone in the background is kind of unusual, isn't it? Now this is another one of those that I made on Sunday, and it has the laminate on it, and I don't like that little, I don't know if you all can see it or not, but I don't like that little white edge showing, so I'm going to get a green pen, and all that does is get rid of that little white edge that I've got showing there. Now that looks much better. Yay. Okay, so let's do the same here. I got a little white spot there I need to be sure and cover up. That is 3.5 by 4, and let's see, 3.5 by 3.25 is what was on that card sketch. So let's trim this one down just a little bit. So that's the 3.5 by 3.25. I'll add this to the scrap pile, and we'll put this on the card like this. Let's see, I think we'll put it in the middle here. And then come across with the red, and that hides that little ubu right there. And bring the Noel in. And then bring the little church scene in. And I think that'd be real pretty, don't you? Okay, let's get it glued up. Yay, there's two. Come and done. There we are. I'd be interested to know if you all store your scraps with the original paper or if you separate them out. Leave me a comment and let me know. And if you do separate them out, are you successful in using your scraps? Because I was not. I just couldn't ever seem to reach for them. I'd reach in there and cut a new piece of paper before I'd reach for my scraps. So... now let's try to kind of meet that in the middle here. I'm using the gauges, these white lines here as gauges. There we go. Then I'm going to put my little piece of red, which kind of helps tie the Noel, and there's a little bit of red on the church. It helps tie it into this card. And now I'm going to use the herringbone as a guide because I want to have that be kind of continuous going across there like that. And now, I shouldn't have put that one down first, should I? Let's see if we can pull it off. We may be able to still. Ooh, I think we're going to get there. Yay, we did. I need to start paying attention and stop jacking my jaws around here, y'all. These little labels, or tags, I guess, came from Paper Wishes years ago, and they've had them on sale just dirt cheap. So I've bought several sets of them, and every once in a while I'll pull them out and use them, and I'm always amazed when I do it how well they work on little different spots in a card like this. You'd be surprised what you have in your stash that you can use that really makes a cute card layer. A cute card layer. And then I'm going to put some glue on this because it already has 3 layers on it. So I really don't think we need any more. There we are. And that's got a lot of shine to it because of that laminated piece. And then I just fussy cut these. This is up 1 piece of foam, and this is up 2 pieces of foam. So there's a lot of dimension on that card. Hey, I'm breaking in again to ask you to please consider subscribing to my channel if you like what you see and you'll come back and visit. Also, if you have something to comment about, please leave me a comment. I read all of them and try to respond to everybody. And if you've liked what you've seen today, hit the like button. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, let's do card number 3. This little embellishment that I made has a little small cabin in the background, and this paper just kind of reminds me of going cabin camping, and a little flannel shirt and some firewood stocked up. Let's see that little cabin way back up in there. There it is. And I believe I'm just going to put this one down as is. I'm not going to trim it or anything.
This little piece of brown paper that I put the sentiment on is baked brown sugar, and I just happened to have a little piece of scrap that was the right size for that. So there it went. Now let's see. Do we want that in the middle or kind of off to the side? I like it off to the side, I think. And I want to bring my little embellishment down and kind of stack it up a little bit there. Maybe right like that. Okay, there we go. And again, there's plenty of layers on that embellishment. So I think we'll be good just putting some glue on the back of this. Now, I don't know if you can see or not, but these little pine cones are double stacked there. So they're in triplicate, and then this is glued flat down. So there's a lot of dimension on this one. There. This would be a nice Christmas card for an uncle or a brother. I like that. All right, let's see. Let's get our little snow guy going here. I don't know if you noticed or not, but his little vest matches this little plaid. Oh, this one, this strip here, hang on a minute, I forgot. It goes on the inside of this other card here. And I'm going to put it down at the bottom. And I always usually leave just a little tiny strip of white. And the reason for that is so that the inside strip doesn't show if your card just happens to not match at the bottom quite right. That way it won't show through and peek underneath that way. Okay, now we'll get this last one done. Let's see. Let's try to do him sideways. So it's on a lateral platform with a top fold. And let me go ahead and put this on the inside. There. What about that? Okay, there we go. I think that little snowman is just absolutely an adorable embellishment, and to be a computer printable, I was just so impressed with that, and it was fun to make it. Okay, here we are. We're going to do the sentiment first. Put him right about here. And then glue this little guy down. Okay. And there he is. Our happy little Merry Christmas snowman. I think this one's calling for some snowflakes, don't you? I'll get some, and I probably will put a snowflake or two on this one as well. So, I hope you all have enjoyed today's video. Now stay tuned because I want to show, there were some folks that asked to see the way I have fixed my desk up here. So I want to show that, and because of the time on this video, I think we'll stop here today and pick up where we left off next week using the rest of those scraps from Christmas cheer paper. So here's the 4 for today, and I'm going to go ahead and finish embellishing those. So hang on a minute. Okay, so now you can see I've got 2 computer monitor risers there. I have my little white containers that I've had on my desk all along here. This is the first layer that is 5 1/4 by 4 out of the 80-pound cardstock, and these are card bases, both portrait and landscape fit in those containers very well. Then I've got my decorative scissors, my small Xyron, my little glue dots, and my brushes back up here. In between them I have my ATG gun, and then I have 2 more risers over here, and I've got large scraps and small white scraps, my enamel dots that I am working on a replacement for, and my foam that I cut, my stamp cleaner, my baby wipes, my glue, and my catch-all tray. Also I have my bow maker and my card stand. So it really works very, very well, and those monitors stacked like that are easy to put together, and you can just search Amazon for computer monitor riser and pick out whatever style you like. They've got a gazillion of them.
Here's the finished cards. I hope you like them. Have a great week. Bye-bye.